beautiful muses, and welcome to Cosmo Muse Tarot. Today we have a really interesting reading that I want to dive into, all about pulling the source of some sort of dream that's very important to us, investigating how to tap into it, what it is, really giving a little bit more definition by exploring things like the subconscious and longings within us, and trying to figure out how to see when it's trying to integrate into our life through synchronicity, and then what we need to do with our free will in order to claim this dream that really wants to be anchored into our life. So in essence, we're investigating a dream and how our free will needs to play a part in claiming this dream, in voicing it and defining it and anchoring it into our lives. So there's going to be sort of like three parts to this. We're going to do a little bit investigation around what this dream might be, what's got a hold of it in our subconscious, how to make it more conscious. So we're really going to investigate some impressions. I'm even going to use a book of art and really just using some images, some subconscious things with the elements of earth, using, like plants and animals, as well as the chemical elements of the periodic table to try and tease out, sometimes dreams are so hard to really know what they are, what they're trying to say, what they're about. So we're just going to try and give a little bit of insight and investigation around something more concrete about a dream that's really trying to integrate into your life. And then the second part, we're going to look at a card that will show us what kind of synchronicities might show up when this dream is like really on the surface, really present, when we have the opportunity to witness it and do something about it, act on it. And then we're going to do some tarot cards to give a little bit more context about where this dream is, where it might be going, what could be if this dream were anchored into our life, if we were to enact our free will upon this dream, what is the potential of it? So we'll use some tarot to investigate that. And actually there's a fourth part to this at the end, just two quick, simple oracle cards of like some advice or just some things to know coming up. Basically advice around it. So a little bit intricate, but I think it's going to be very magical, very insightful, and I love weaving sort of the mysticism and that sense of destiny we have with our ability to enact free will and have our own choices and assert our own selves into co-creating with the universe. I definitely feel like that's an essential part that we can sometimes forget when we get really drawn into tarot and mysticism, is that element of we play a part, we have choices, we do have to act upon certain things. So that being said, we've got 4 piles today. Pile 1, we've got a deck here with some art on it that might draw your eye, or it might be the stone that draws your eye. It's just sort of a raw, all of the stones I picked are kind of in raw form, just a clear crystal quartz. And then pile 2, we have rose quartz. Pile 3, we have green citrine, or calcite, sorry. I love how there's sort of different shades of green layered in here. And then pile 4, some citrine. Okay, and just a teeny bit more context in terms of where this reading was inspired from, how it came to be, is we are, well, where I am when I'm recording this, which it will be, I tend to record my readings about a week before they go up. So at the moment that I'm recording this, it is about 15-ish hours before we hit summer solstice. So to me, that's always a time when we need to move from sort of flitting around, exploring, flirting, being a little bit more superficial and exploratory in life, into like really anchoring and committing to something and putting roots down into something that our soul is very connected to, that we want to mature. So that's where I really want to give a little bit of form to some sort of dream that's ready to be anchored into our life and committed to and acted upon and matured in some way. So that's where we're coming from. Of course, it's a timeless reading, so you could come to this, in the autumn or middle of winter, whenever, and whenever you're drawn to this reading is the right time for you to grab hold of, sort of witness, investigate, define some sort of dream that's trying to make itself known so that you can act upon it. So, okay, I love to lead you guys through some breaths to help you channel in your higher mind and some inspiration. Ooh, sorry, I kind of knocked my tripod. In order to, channel in just some higher energy for being drawn to the pile that you need, that's meant for you, and just hone into some higher energy for that. So take a deep breath in and hold at the top, right between the brows. You may even close your eyes. Really hold it there for a minute, and then with a big ah, let it out. And that ah kind of opens up our crown chakra. So do that a couple times if you need, and then look at the different decks in here, or the different stones, or you may be drawn to the actual number 1, 2, 3, or 4, and feel into which pile is calling you in. Each of these decks will be used in every reading, so it doesn't matter. Even if you picked, say, this pile, all of these decks will still be used in that. So just a little bit of context there. Okay, I will see you in your pile, starting with number 1. Hello, pile 1. If this is you guys, you picked the Threads of Fate deck, as well as the clear crystal quartz that's sort of raw. So I'm just going to put your stone up here, and we're going to use this deck in just a little bit, so I'm going to put it aside for now. To start with, we are going to do a little bit of investigation around what kind of dream is trying to come up within you, taking some impressions, some images, and trying to find a little bit of insight and definition and contouring around what this might be. So in the Materia Prima deck and the Nocturna deck, I'm kind of using elements and subconscious things to pull out some ideas, just some impressions, thoughts around what this dream is. And then I'm also going to use an art book and just kind of flip some pages with some occult art, and just sort of randomly pick an image after we go over these to add a little extra something here. So for you, with this element that is called the molybdenum, there is something in you that is so refined and masterful that you almost don't notice it in your life, or this quality, trait, skill you have, others may not notice it so much because it is so effortless in some way. And I think that you are underestimating how big of an impact this thing within you could have in your life if you allowed it to sort of play a bigger role, take on a bigger role, be acknowledged, be leaned into. So my sense is that most of you will know what I'm talking about when I am talking about these qualities. There's just something that, and it may be inherent, but I think you've also done a lot of training around it. There's just something you're very skillful at. And this thing really wants to come in and be a huge support for you to help simplify your life, to make your life a little bit just easier, simpler, more relaxed. There's just something that you're not putting enough importance on that could really just, make your life so much easier if you let it be something that worked for you, that if you brought it into consciousness, that this is such a crutch that you could lean on if you wanted to make it a big part of your life in order to bring in that simplicity and ease that I think you're really desiring right now. I think you are maybe at a place, this might not be for everybody, but for some of you, you may be at a place where all you crave is sort of just a easy, simple, humble life. You're not really looking for the limelight. You're not looking to be, in the spotlight with a lot of complexity and eyes on you. You just want life to be easy and comfortable and simple at the moment. And you have a skill. You have something within you that if you just made more apparent in your life and leaned on would, just really bring that dream into being of having a more simple life. And I think you know this, so the owl showing up is indicating that you do have a deep intuition. You can see things that others can't see. And that might be why whatever this skill is such a skill for you, is that you're able to see much deeper into what this is than most people. You're able to pull out a lot of strategy and wisdom that's very intuitive and not really something that can be learned in a book or from a mentor or a teacher. This is something very wise within you that's able just to see to certain depths that is just not accessible to everyone else. So what's coming through for me is just this strong wanting, this dream strongly wanting you to understand how valuable and important this skill or asset or ability is that you have, and to just start leaning on it more. And it may have to do with your intuition. You may be like a very good counselor or guide of some sort, teacher of some sort. Or with the molybdenum, you may be an impressive manager or accountant or someone just that knows how to organize life, even if it's just within your own home, how to get things running very smoothly and efficiently. And there's something about using that skill of efficiency and economy that you have that will provide you a certain stillness, a certain ease that allows your intuition and your wisdom to have space and time and clarity to do what it likes to do. Okay, we're gonna flip through some pages. This is the art of the occult, and it's different pieces of art that artists who were inspired by the occult have done. So I'm just going to kind of flip through. And I'm not really going to read about the art piece. I'm just going to look at the image and kind of, oh, that's not. And see what we get here. So this is the one I stopped on. It is called Totem from Wilfredo Lamb in 1973, oil on canvas. And I definitely am seeing this some kind of horse or some kind of animal here. But what's interesting to me that's really jumping out is these two heads that are connected. And it's almost like, yeah, going into that owl image, this is to me maybe just fleshing out your brand of intuition a little more. It's almost like you have sight given to you from a very unseen entity, spiritual guide. So you're seeing aspects of life that are being channeled through some other dimension, also through kind of the animal kingdom and very instinctual places. And yeah, this connection to some other dimension as well as to the animal kingdom is giving you a certain sight that is uncommon and very intuitive. And I really think that you see things in a way that most people do not. And you need to, instead of allowing yourself to feel different or be told that you're different or misunderstood, recognize that this is a huge, huge asset, and it's connected to whatever this skill is, whatever that means to you, some sort of skill set you have that is almost unrecognizable to you because it's so effortless. You're being given sight and information and knowledge and intelligence from just other places. You're like a channel for something, and you see things, almost auras, like you almost see sort of like oracly around things, like as an oracle, but also aura centered. So you may be someone that sees or feels colors around things, and that might be something connected to this efficiency skill set you have. That you're seeing to the heart of things. You're seeing with wisdom because you can see a certain energy around things that's being channeled to you that other people just don't have access to. It's not something you can learn to do. It's just something you've been given as a gift in this lifetime. And it's time to see this as a gift instead of something that sets you apart as different or weird, that you're sort of like hiding or not wanting to bring to the forefront. This is something that can really color your life in a beautiful way. That is something that I'm feeling. These are kind of like bitter or sour colors to me. So I feel like you maybe have had certain judgments around this, whether it's coming just from yourself, observing others and realizing you're not quite the same, or being told by others that something's different. And it's like you've colored this ability you have in kind of in bitter colors, and it's time to kind of shed these colors and bring in brighter, soft, whatever color, like what colors are calling out to you that you would dream of feeling were around you. What are those colors? That's what's actually there. If you were to strip these kind of more bitter, sour colors off, what's underneath those, because these are just a judgment, they're not real. And what's underneath those are really beautiful, and whatever colors are coming to you, that's what's actually there underneath these kind of bitter sour colors. So it's time to just recognize whatever this means to you as something that's so powerful, so special, and something to be used as an enhancement for your life, as a crutch, as something that can make your life simple and beautiful and easy. If you were to let it come out more, let it shine and enact it, put it into motion, place your free will upon this and do something more generally, something bigger, something more with this, something more conscious and specific, if that makes sense. Okay, so we are now going to use the deck you chose to see with the Threads of Fate. I'm using this to understand where you can see different synchronicities coming up around this to better understand it. Since this is going to be a little bit different for everyone who picked this pile, being a very general reading, I wanted to pick a card that has something to do with synchronicities, really tapping into synchronicities and what to pay attention to as synchronicities, that is trying to help you to understand this part of you and this dream trying to come out. Let's pick the card, and I think it will become more clear what I'm trying to say. And because this was the deck you chose, this is maybe the most important part of the reading for you. Manifest. Okay. I love that. So this is something that really is trying to manifest in your life. So to me, this is saying that a lot of you are probably somewhat conscious of what this is that we're talking about here, this dream. And that it's this is truly has an energy around it that wants to anchor in, that wants to become more tangible, that wants to help you to manifest either a specific thing, but this is like the material realm. It's wanting to help you manifest money or a home or something physical, or even like a title. So maybe it's not, for some of you, it might not be like a 3D object. It might be like a title, but there's something more concrete, specific that is trying to manifest in your life, or that you're trying to manifest. And it's by bringing this more conscious, more outward, leaning on it, that manifestation in general, whatever you're trying to manifest in your life right now, is very dependent on you placing your free will upon these beautiful qualities you have that are, for whatever reason, attached to this dream of manifesting and of anchoring something in your life and making something more concrete. Okay. Beautiful. So that to me is very exciting. I think that you guys are like well on your way with this reading. You just maybe needed like that confirmation and to link these, that whatever it is you're kind of focused on trying to manifest, you really need to bring forward your intuition and this thing in you that is very skillful, but that you haven't, because it's just so innate in you, you don't see it, you're seeing it as too small of a piece to the puzzle, where it needs to, it has the ability to be a focal cornerstone to your manifestation. Okay. All right, I want to look at some tarot cards to see if you are to place your, and anytime, okay, sorry, there's one more aspect to this I want to bring out. So anytime you are, because this card, I want it also to indicate something about synchronicity happening around what's trying to come out of these cards to help you understand it. Anytime you are thinking about this thing that you're trying to manifest, watch for synchronicities around these things. There will be communications, further communications past what I've said that's more specific to each of you in your own life. What this is about, what its importance is, what to do with it. So anytime you're doing a little bit of work around giving focus to what you're trying to manifest, defining what you're trying to manifest, working on manifesting something. So you could even do like image boards or lists, something, you know, like some very conscious work around what you're manifesting. That is going to incite synchronicities around these things that are key to manifesting, that are going to communicate more directly to you and more specifically to you about what these are in your life and what they mean to this manifesting energy that you're very interested in, and how free will is needed here, what you can do with your free will. Okay. All right, so let's look at some tarot cards. Whoops. I'm just going to put these sort of in the corner. Okay. We're going to do a few tarot cards to see if you are to enact your free will, use your own decision-making power, conscious ability to take steps, to take action, to, we already had some cards jumping out. If you do these things, what is in store? What can this bring your way? What will be kind of an outcome of this free will action on this dream energy? So I'm going to pick 5 cards, so just 2 more, and then we'll take a look at all of these. Beautiful. So, Ace of Wands. Yeah, there's a new project, a new creativity, a new passion that's wanting to be set in motion, and that's up to you to do. So once you make that decision, and once you feel that spark of inspiration and impulse to do that and sort of light the torch of this creative endeavor, you will see that life in general, the universe in general, wants to support this. You're going to have community support, just a harmonious flow of like your emotions feeling held and considered. You're going to feel people supporting you. You're going to feel yourself supporting you. You're going to feel yourself being able to support others. Just this like symbiotic kind of circular feeding of harmony in your life. So this little spark, whatever it is, and that impulse to just take the first step, to decide to do something, to take action, really brings in like immediately, it's just like this, moth to the flame type effect of just co-creation with the universe and people around you just coming in to like nurture this, nourish it, be a part of it. Yeah, it's really beautiful. One result of this will be that there may be, and this might be where there might be some block to these qualities you have and really taking action on this dream to manifest something, is it may mean that you're having to leave certain things behind. I don't know if it's people, places, job, neighborhood, something. Yeah, there's something that will probably need to be left behind, and that could be something that's been preventing you from really defining and owning a dream and stepping into it, putting free will into it. Is something in you kind of knows that something will be left behind that maybe you haven't felt ready to leave behind. But what I want to say is that when you step into this energy with that spark and all of that beautiful support coming in with co-creation, this isn't going to feel as difficult as it does before you actually act on this. So the courage to take a step will bring in things tenfold better than what you're going to have to leave behind. So there's definitely some trust that's needing to be felt here and embraced here, and leading to, kind of an outcome. If you stay the path, keep putting your free will into this dream, is a lot of financial independence and a lot of really wise understanding through this dream, through putting your free will into something, knowing, having, I think it's this part of like this high and low of this intense passion and creative spirit coming through, but something being left. It's sort of, when you temper metal, you're putting it into really hot to really cold to really hot to get to the right kind of strength. It needs to have some give so that it's not too brittle, but some strength so it's not too weak. And it's sort of like you will have, in going through this an action of asserting your free will onto this dream and putting it into motion, you will, I believe, go through some ups and downs that are somewhat extreme, but in the end, it's making you just such a resilient, wise person that knows exactly how to put into motion, hold, carry, and be the person you dream of being, to hold things that are beautiful and complex and hard and easy, and the spectrum of everything. You've done it, you've held it, you know exactly how to be present with whatever is there, knowing that you have a certain amount of free will to always make the choice that you need to make for how you're feeling in the moment and what your dreams are needing for you in the moment. So that's so beautiful. But yeah, I mean, definitely a journey I'm seeing of some highs and lows, the Five of Cups being more of that low, but a lot of beautiful highs or heights, whatever you want to say. But just making you, this is defining, this is character defining for you. This is making you into that dream person that you could be. And again, it's seen, look at these colors. These are the colors you're made of, versus when we looked at that image in the art book, those kind of sour, bitter colors. These are the colors that will be around you so beautifully that you can pull on any of them at any time by just being present. Once you kind of go through this journey and place some free will on whatever this dream means to you, yeah, you're seeing your colors anew and as beautiful. And these qualities you have that might be you have maybe judged or others have judged as different, they're going to show themselves for the magnificence that they actually are, and you're really going to own it and sit in the beauty of all of the colors that surround you and that are within you, and know how to command them and hold them and use them. Yeah, so really gorgeous. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is just pull some general, simple kind of advice oracle cards. First from the Feather Oracle from our little winged friends. White Owl, again, the owl coming out. So big for you guys. So the wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. Yeah, I think and this is why this didn't feel as whatever this dream is. It felt so specific. So I didn't define it, since this is a general reading, too much, but there's it within you. What do you know within you about this dream, trying to get your attention to use your free will on? You have that wisdom within you. Know what this is. You just need to if you don't, I feel like for the majority of you, you're going to know what this is. If you're sitting here being like, I have no idea, I think the advice is in you. You need to find some stillness to work with your intuition and recognize that, you have access to the divine. You are divine, and really sit with that beautiful piece of wisdom. And I think it will come out of you, especially in the evenings or just before bed at night. Okay, and then one more. But definitely sort of your wisdom and intuition is a big thing here that wants to come out and be acted upon. Okay. And then we have the hair strength. It says, take time to make clear decisions, bring awareness and light to the situation. Yeah, so that's just what I said about the owl. For those of you, I guess this applies to everyone, whether you know what is being talked about here yet, or you need some time to sit with this and figure it out. Yeah, it's like making decisions, sitting in some stillness to find clarity, and making decisions will kind of bump into this energy and make it more defined. You're going to feel the contours of what this is every time you make a decision, especially around something you're trying to manifest. Synchronicities are going to come up around this skill you're not giving enough credit to, and this intuitive insight that's coming from really interesting places. Yeah, every time you make a decision, it's bumping into the contours and the edges of what you're trying to manifest and what these are talking about, to help you see it more clearly, find the definition of things. So decision making and sitting with your intuition is a big deal in whatever this dream is, and putting your free will into it. Decisions, and you'll find more and more strength the more decisions you make, and the more time you give yourself to find clarity around decision making. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys, pile one. I hope this resonated for you, was helpful in some way. It definitely felt a little abstract on my side, so I'm hoping that for you guys it made sense what was coming through here. I'm just trusting that that is the case. If it didn't, maybe pick another pile, but I feel like for the majority of you, this will make the sense it was supposed to make. So if this resonated, please give a thumbs up. It really helps the little algorithm on my little channel. And of course, I love reading comments if there's something that was very specific that jumped out to you. And definitely subscribe if you want more readings like this. All right, see you guys. Hello, pile two. If this is you guys, you picked the rose quartz stone as well as the Materia Prima deck, which uses the periodic table and elements and gives them sort of these beautiful archetypal energies and mysterious qualities. Anyway, it's a very cool deck. So, okay, I'm just going to put your stone up here and dive into your reading. So I already picked your card from the Materia Prima as well as from the Nocturna deck, and these two cards are going to give a little bit of insight into what dream is trying to get your attention, is trying to get you to use your free will to take action upon it and kind of anchor it into some sort of reality. So because the deck you chose was the Materia Prima, this card, especially in your reading, is going to be maybe the most anchoring, most cornerstone card of the reading. So let's take a look at what you got. Okay, so Antimony from Materia Prima and Slug from the Nocturna deck. So this one has a little bit to do with something more subconscious needing to be brought up and understood. So to me, this dream is much more clear. Pile one was a bit mysterious to me, but this one feels much more clear. Like you are, whether you resonate with title of artist or not, there is something within you that loves to make real or put love into action in like a beautiful compositional type of way, and the way you just are, even if you don't have a specific medium of art, just who you are, how you move, the way you handle yourself, relate with others, there's a love that comes through it that has a certain quality of beauty to it that marks the world in special ways, and you are able to or want to, you dream up, this is sort of about a dream trying to come up. There's something more wanting to be done with your ability to give expressions of love, some sort of form, some sort of essence, some sort of beauty that results in a kind of art. So if title of artist doesn't resonate with you, just think of things that you do artfully, whether it's the way you speak to others, relate to others, or it could be very literal, like you are an artist of some sort, whether with a medium like writing, painting, or with your body through sports or dance or something. There's something that love comes out of you, the quality of love wants to, at least. It probably does in a huge capacity already, but there's something more specific that a dream within you is trying to get your attention about, like really wanting to express art in your life as a form of love or of a way to make love visible, to show the beauty of our world, of feelings, of, sort of taking those feelings of something and making them something that you can actually look at and touch and understand in some way more than just a feeling. So the slug coming through here to me is giving an indication that this quality within you, this thing that's wanting to, this dream that's wanting you to wake up to it, to see it, to enact some sort of free will upon it, is that we are in a very, very fast-paced world, and in order for you to really get in touch with this dream and to know what its focus is and how to direct it and what steps to take along the way, is you need to commit to a very slow pace with this. So the slug in this deck talks about really knowing your focus, but being okay with going at your own pace, going at a slow pace, not letting a lot of other things distract you, and just allowing this dream to unfold in its own time, not pushing it, not hiding it, just continuing to sort of feel your way towards it, knowing what you want to feel in it, you know, in your senses and your perceptions, how you want it to feel. So taking your time with it, really letting it move through your body, move through your emotions, move through your mind, allowing, this artful expression to kind of move through the different body realms we have: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. And just like allowing it to naturally unfold instead of pushing at it or being caught up in the fast-paced tendencies the world tries to instill in us right now in this moment in time. Really, I think there's a commitment here needing to be made to allow whatever this art dream of artfulness, of beauty, of expression trying to come up through you, committing hardcore right now to letting it take its time, to letting it move at its own pace, to letting you do this in a way that feels right to you. Okay, so I want to give just a little bit more contouring to this dream, trying to get your attention for your free will to take action upon. So this art of the occult has art images, artists that were inspired by the cult, some of the paintings they've done. So I'm just going to randomly flip to, I'm not really going to read about the painting, I'm just going to use the image that we land on as an extra, sort of just read into that impression of what comes through there. So this is the one that I picked. So it's different glass vessels that have, in this one there's flowers, in this one I can't even tell if that's a glass, but there's a lot of just like beautiful light reflection in here. Some sort of, I don't know if that's like plant life or mineral or something in a corked bottle, something that's sort of being protected and preserved. Just a lot of beautiful, interesting shapes, a lot of blues and golds in here, violets, a little bit of blue-green. Definitely feeling, like you want to compose, like there's something being composed here, showcased here. I always think of like vessels, vases as a way to present something. So let's see. And this, just so if you wanted to find this image on your own, it's called Alchemia by Gatia Kelly, 2016, oil on linen. I actually do kind of want to read this. So even in the deepest darkness, there is light. It's a reminder that the unpredictability and lurking chaos of the outside world is only transient. With a perspective that reflects the domestic and the feminine, and using a glowing nocturnal tableau of familiar objects in Alchemia, the artist pays tribute to this ancient branch of natural philosophy and invites us to step back and reconnect with who we are. So I love this. It's sort of like going inward, finding the depth of who we are to express something beautiful, to connect to our natural world and how our interaction with it does produce some sort of alchemical effect. And I love this, that it even says the artist pays tribute to this ancient branch of natural philosophy. So there's something ancient, I think, wanting to channel through you, and that's why it's needing to go slow in you. There's something that you're channeling, that you're tapping into, that's really deep, that's really ancient, that's really fundamental and a bit lost maybe. And yeah, you're feeling into the beauty of something, some ancient art, some ancient wisdom, some ancient just aesthetic even. And that just is taking time to download into you to know how to express in our modern world. And so just be slow with it, be gentle with it. Allow it to come at its own pace, and allow yourself to go at your own pace. Yeah, so beautiful. Okay, so I wanted to pick a card that's going to give us, or give you guys, some sort of hint about ways in which synchronicity is trying to get your attention to more specifically for each of you in your own lives, give you more specific downloads, information, ahas type of thing. Okay, so from the Threads of Fate, we're going to pick, oh, of course, so patience is what you got. So every time you are able to drop in to a sense of patience, you're going to find the synchronicities you need to understand this dream and to know what action to take upon it, what kind of free will you're needing to place upon this to anchor it, to do something with it. So anytime you're feeling impatient, you're feeling unsure, confused, whatever, recommit to a sense of patience, to the word ancient, slow, slug, patient. And as soon as you recommit to that and feel that kind of that drop, that earthing, that grounding, and that stillness, it's going to kind of ignite certain synchronicities to help you to understand what you need to know in the moment and what you need to know about this dream and what kind of free will it's needing to kind of feed it and to give form to it. So that's really beautiful and this is synchronistic in itself. So, okay, let's do a few tarot cards to get some information about if you are to be able to put your free will into this, to take action upon this dream. What is its potential? What is it trying to do in your life? What could it result as, take form as, bring about? We'll just see what the tarot has to say. So I'm going to pick 5 cards. Okay, Divine Masculine. And that's something really beautiful. I think I forgot to bring up with the slug, is slugs are hermaphroditic. So they are male, female within itself. So there's something, very harmonious about this dream in terms of it being both intuitive and assertive, both obvious and instinctual. There's something about the divine masculine that let's pick all 5 cards and then I'll dive into the tarot. Oh, beautiful. Ace of Cups, divine masculine. Devil. Wheel. An 8 of Pentacles. Beautiful. So, yes, by placing your free will upon this dream, trying to get your attention, if you're able to do that, if you're able to sort of take some steps, bring this into consciousness and and do something, act upon this dream, I think you're going to give a lot more strength to your divine masculine side, so your ability to be assertive. And this may even be saying that you need to step into that role initially. That's like your first step, is being a little bit more bold, being a little bit more cocky and confident and sure of yourself, and knowing a more linear aim, a very specific, strong, assertive order to something. So it's like, yeah, channeling that aspect of yourself. I think it needs, like, that's something you need to drop into in order to step into this, is like outwardly claiming what it is you want, saying, this is what I want. I'm saying it out loud to others with confidence. You know, think of the most stereotypical, successful, strong male, even if you think that's toxic or not, but that just that confidence that you deserve the world. Like, can you step into those shoes and be like, this is my dream, of course I deserve it, of course I'm confident it's mine, and claim it. Say, this is mine, this is my focus, this is where I'm going, this is what I deserve, and I have every right to step into this dream, to take action upon this dream. Like, I think you need to get a little bit more cocky. That's honestly what's coming through here. And then by doing that, by taking that bold stance, by claiming it out loud without any shame or guilt or unsureness, with just this clear, confident, resounding, yes, this is my path, what I deserve, what I want, what I will get. It's like a portal is going to open up to you, where the power of your soul, the power of your heart, the power of your emotions just becomes clear and magnetizes exactly what you need at the exact right time to step forward into this. Yeah, so powerful. And what you get, I know a lot of people kind of see the devil card. To me, it always depends on the context in which it comes out. And in this, I'm seeing it as very positive. Like, it is time for you to claim your material world, rewards in this world. It's time for you to be able to enjoy the pleasure of form and function and yeah, your material realm, the environment around you, what you're able to attract to you. It's due. Like, you deserve to have a little bit of or a lot of material and physical pleasure in your life. This dream is trying to connect you into that we are living in this 3D world, and it's filled with material beauty. And I don't think you're someone that gets overly attached to things or takes them to maybe the extreme, and that's why the devil to me is showing up as positive. It's almost saying, like, you need to indulge a little bit more. You need to use your 5 senses to feel the world and to enjoy it and allow yourself to enjoy it. Yeah, I'm just feeling like layers of shame and guilt kind of shedding off of you. Like, there's something about giving yourself permission to enjoy your senses, and that it's okay. Like, some of you may have grown up very religious, or in a culture where there was a lot of shame or guilt around enjoying the pleasures of the world and the senses. And yeah, I'm just feeling like stepping onto this path is helping to shed those and helping you to really find joy and pleasure in a new way. And it's bringing a whole new chapter into your life and a skill set a skill that gives you an ability to do work you love and earn the living you deserve by doing what you love. It's just like a whole new way of being here, of being like in control of your life and doing what you love, and feeling the absolute permission that that's okay, that there's been some sort of block with that, like that's not I don't know, like it's either not, shouldn't be, like it's too, like there's like a too much of a hedonistic judgment or something on a way that you could be, and you're shedding that and you're stepping into like, whoa, actually life can be so easy and so materially comfortable and pleasurable, and that is okay. That is beautiful. Wow, good for you guys. I love this. So, this reading is determined on you enacting your free will. So this is what's possible if you were to step into this, to put some free will onto this dream coming through of some kind of artfulness within you. Woo! Oh my gosh. Okay, cards are really wanting to come out for you. So we're just doing 2 last cards, simple little messages from Spirit. First from the little feathered friends, this feather deck. And we have the flicker. New rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. Exactly. I think more pleasurable rhythms, more material rhythms are coming in. So encourage and trust and adapt to them. Encourage these rhythms, trust them, and adapt to them, because it feels like such a shift, like, yeah, with that will coming in, it feels like such a shift of energy from just, yeah, kind of living in struggle or something, to allowing yourself to see and embrace how beautiful and sensual and easy life could be if you do what you feel in you, what art wants to come out of you, and yeah, just indulge in it, claim it loud and proud with boldness. That's the biggest thing to me, is like, I think this feels so bold to you guys for some reason, and it really isn't. It's just beautiful. So be that, let that boldness come out of you, because that's not how it's going to appear to others. It will appear more balanced to others, for you to kind of come out more stronger and more clear and more forceful. And then monkey, inner child, don't take life too seriously. Exactly. That's what I'm feeling. Like there's a heaviness around your energy right now. And there's this ease, this lightness, this pleasure, just really a dream of this, really wanting you to take action on and put your free will into, because there's something just so amazing that this dream is holding that could totally transform your life into just like one of ease and pleasure. And you need to get rid of feeling like that's not possible, or that's not good, or whatever that is to you. Like, it needs to go, because it's for you. I don't think for everybody this is okay path. There are some people that would abuse this path, but you are not one of those people, and you deserve it. And the universe is ready and wants to bring this abundance in for you. That's in our dreamscape. Our dreams come partially from us and partially from something commingling in the space in the universe. So yeah, this dream is partially a gift from the universe. But you have to use your free will to claim this. Yeah, beautiful, you guys. Really gorgeous reading. I Would love to hear if this specifically hit a chord for you in the comments. And of course, just simply if it resonated and was interesting, a thumbs up is always really, really helpful, getting my new channel into the algorithm. And of course, if you're not subscribed, please do so if you want more readings from me. All right, see you guys. Hello, my lovely pile threes. If this is you guys, you picked the pile with the green calcite and the Nocturna deck. So the card from this deck in your reading will probably have a deep importance to it, specific in your reading. So we will get to that in a minute, just to kind of preface that so that you understand why I'm putting a little bit more emphasis on the card from that deck in your reading. Okay, so to start out the reading, we've got a card from the Materia Prima and from the Nocturna deck, which I'm using to help give some sort of form or understanding of what this dream is within you that's trying to get your attention and really wanting you to place your free will upon it, to do something about it, to kind of anchor it into your life in some way. Okay, so let's check out what you've got. So Tantalum, and these are the Materia Prima deck is the periodic table kind of put into archetypal form. And then from the Nocturna deck, which is showing something a little bit more unconscious about the dream, we have the Orchid. So what's coming through to me about this dream wanting your attention and wanting you to place your free will upon it, to act upon it, is that you are sort of ready to step into a little bit more of an extreme persona, sense of yourself, like ready to be able to stand up to controversy, to be controversial, to be a bit of a revolutionary, a little bit of a radical in some sense. So there might be some cause or some insight you've had that you're feeling really strong and passionate and sure about, and something in you is just like really wanting to stand in this power of like bringing attention to this thing and standing out and making this pronounced in the world and being ready and willing to take a little bit of backlash from those that would oppose whatever you're seeing or advocating for or creating. You know, this could even be some sort of thing you want to create that, you know, some people will love and some people will hate. There's definitely like this, a little bit of this controversy here that like maybe you're desiring that charge and a little bit of that drama in your life. Like maybe things have been, you know, I feel like in general, maybe you're someone that likes a little bit of spice and maybe life's been, you know, dull for a minute. You know, we've been through the pandemic and a lot of us have been sort of locked up more than usual or more remote, and maybe there's something pent up in you and just like really wanting to kind of step out into the world, be a bigger part of the world, put yourself out there, do something big, and be damned whatever comes with it. What I'm seeing with the orchid aspect here, that's more unconscious. So this is an important part of your reading because this is from the deck that you chose, is there's a sexuality in you, a virility in you, and something strong that is wanting to have its moment, is wanting to be seen, is wanting to be used. Like you do have a strength and a seductiveness about you that you're maybe not seen or have never fully claimed, or that's been sort of dormant for some reason. Whatever that's been for you, something you're most likely a little bit unaware of, and that's sort of creating a bit of a pressure cooking element with this dream is like yeah, there's something seductively sexually strong, and it doesn't have to be about sex, but that, that's like an erotic energy within you that's very creative and very seductive, and that's just like really wanting to come out of you and either be unleashed in a way you didn't know was there, or be uh, let out of some cage that it's been in that you're sort of done with. But whatever it is, there's something bold, there's something a bit extreme here, and there's some seductive quality coming through that you're feeling really charged up about, that this dream. So if you have like some restlessness in you, some moments of like bursts of anger or testiness or confrontational kind of jabs coming through you, it's because you're not feeling this dream enough. You're not bringing it into consciousness enough. So what is it that you want to direct this kind of virile energy towards, that's more productive, that is an actual dream and not just reactions to the world? Like, what's underneath those reactions? What is this dream, that you're wanting to see, that's wanting you to see it better? And what kind of free will can you place upon this? Okay, I'm now going to use the book, The Art of the Occult, which is a book of artwork by different artists who were inspired by the occult. And I'm just going to kind of randomly flip through the book and find a painting. And I may or may not read much about the painting. I want to more focus on the painting, the image itself, and kind of channel through that, but we'll see what comes through here. Oh, it's really beautiful and actually kind of gentle, which is interesting because it feels very different from what we've already read. But I'm loving the colors. I'm loving this. It's like using plants. I don't know if they're making some sort of plant medicine. There's some kind of alchemy going on. Yeah, I think maybe you have or want to have some kind of esoteric knowledge about how to use the wisdom of the earth for either for ceremony or healing, but doing it in a way that's like really, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say extreme here. That's really theatrical and dramatic, that some people might feel is a little bit threatening in a pagan-y way. There's a lot of people still very nervous about pagan type of energy, but I feel like that's what's coming through to me, is there's something very pagan wanting to come out of you, like reconnecting to the wisdom of your body and of the earth and the healing magic it contains. Actually, this tantalum element in the book, it did talk about its ability to heal others, not necessarily itself. I almost got like a Chiron quality from it, like a great healer to others, but unable to heal itself. But, so maybe this is what's wanting to come through a little more than what I saw before, is like some healer energy, but maybe in a way that's not academically approved, or that is, but not in a university type setting. Like there's still a lot of academic and scientific wisdom to be had about the natural world and its healing abilities and our own body's healing abilities. It's still like a little bit too woo-woo for university type settings. But yeah, there's something that I think you're really ready to like step into and be bold with around, the theater of the natural world, of the natural body, of ceremony, of healing, I'm feeling some kind of theatric quality. It almost makes me want to read a bit about this. But if you want to look up this image for yourself, it's called The Household Gods by John William Waterhouse, 1880, oil on canvas. So yeah, it's tapping into kind of the reverence of ritual and quietly luminous moments is what it says here. So maybe there's just something radical you're feeling about bringing ritual into your life that is more earthy and not totally understood by mainstream, but that feels strong and seductive and beautiful and revolutionary to you. Just the way that the day-to-day is treated, the way that healing is treated, the way that, ceremony and ritual in a very mundane daily way is treated. I think there's some revolutionary energy here, some seductive pull and longing around this. So very beautiful, actually. Okay, I want to pull another card because this is going to, it's a general reading, so this is going to be a little bit different for everybody. I wanted to pull a card that has something that can give us a little bit of insight about the way in which you can notice, tap into, amplify some synchronicity around this to better understand it, to get more specific messages for you. I'm going to use the threads of fate for this. So destruction, that's so interesting because that does feel very extreme and revolutionary against, the image we got in the book that was much more mundane and luminous. But I think it is about deconstructing the way you have done life, the way you've seen the day-to-day, the way you've been told to do life and normalize life. And the more you deconstruct what's normalized in your day-to-day, the more you're going to get synchronicities and messages and feelings and a little more definition about what this is to you, what more strong, seductive, radical notions and it might be, this is individual to each of us. So what might feel radical to you may be totally normal to someone else. That's sort of what I'm feeling here, is like you just have some norms in what you've anchored into in terms of daily rituals and how life is supposed to be lived and what's normal. There's some deconstruction needing to happen around that in order for this dream that's trying to get your attention, that's maybe giving you some agitation and aggression it's just trying to destroy some norms in your life in order to feel a more natural, holistic, seductive quality from your earth and your body, and wisdom from that to know how to set your rhythms, to be day to day, and what kind of ceremony you can incorporate into either certain parts of the year or to your day or to different rites of passage. I think there's just like a whole different expression of your ritualistic self that's trying to come out, and it's requiring you to go through some destruction. So every time you kind of deconstruct some norm in you, you're gonna get a lot of synchronicity, a lot of new fleshing out and information about what this is, and that opportunity, those openings to, with those ahas, to enact your free will, because this is something where it's not just going to happen on its own. You have to place some free will onto this. But to understand what's going on here, synchronicity is going to come in to help you specifically in your own life and what this means for you every time you're kind of deconstructing a norm about your daily life and your daily rhythms. So really cool, really beautiful, like a huge transformation wanting to come through here, I feel like, in terms of how you live your day to day. Really gorgeous. Okay, we're going to do some tarot now to see if you are able to place your free will upon this dream, sort of identify what's going on here and take some action, what the potential is, what sort of outcomes, what can be foreseen about taking action on this dream, placing your free will upon this dream. So I'm going to pick 5 cards. Oh, there's 2 here actually. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, one more. Oh, gorgeous cards, you guys. Okay. A little tricky at the start, I think, getting your footing done right. And I have that sense already is like there, especially because your pile is the subconscious card. I think there's a lot of work needing to be done to bring the subconscious aspect of this dream into consciousness. And it's, like really paying attention to what's seducing you and what kind of luxury is trying to pull at you. And I think that you're being, as you try to take action on this, there may be like a couple of stepping into what you think is the right thing, only for it to not be quite right. I think there's going to be a few non-starter moments, and it's like finding the right door, the right access point to this for you. It might take a few tries to get that right. The more you can tap into your intuition and feel where the right access point is versus what appears right, the quicker you'll get that right access point. Because there's a lot of choices and a lot of access points, and not all of them are right for you. And it's just, it's like really, some of them are going to be more seductive. And because you have this seductive energy in your subconscious, I do feel like you may pull at some access points that just appear seductive, but what's behind that access point isn't quite right. So the more you can just like tap into your intuition and not use sight or surface level judgments about the access point, like really feeling it, even if it appears amazing, feeling into you and just getting that yes and no down in your abdomen, in your gut. So that's okay. It's always fine to walk into an access point and realize it's not for you and turn back. And, for some of you that may happen a couple times, but for all of you, I think there's going to be a lot of potential choices of using your free will to put action towards sort of creating new ritualistic norms in your day-to-day that are a little bit more sensual and earthy and pagan-y. But you'll find it. So just keep trusting your intuition, keep trusting the longing, keep trusting that as you deconstruct norms, that new ahas and insights will help to steer you to the right access point. So don't get don't feel defeated if you have a few non-starts with trying to kind of deconstruct and reorder kind of your connection to life. Because once you find the right access point, it's just so, you guys, it's so beautiful. The star comes, it's just this huge renewed hope in life in general. It's sort of like you're seeing a whole new way of being in your day-to-day that you didn't even, I don't think you really even knew existed. It's like mind-blowing. I love that there's sort of like these stellar explosions. I mean, it looks like stellar explosions. I know it's more just nebulas or anyway. But yeah, I'm getting the sense of like your mind being blown. You'll know when you step into the right access point of newly normalizing kind of how you connect to your ritualistic daily life, because it will blow your mind and you'll just know. And because of that spark, that just deep connection and seeing, it's like envisioning your future immediately when you walk through this right access point, and it allows you to move forward so quickly, embrace this new way of being and connecting to your daily rhythms, to your yearly rituals and ceremonies, whatever it is for you. Maybe for some of you, this like healing journey or becoming a healer, or the way you heal yourself or others. Well, more specifically, I think others. You're going to have fast movement with it. It's so connected to your soul. It's so connected to your deepest, truest essence that you just like, it's just like all of a sudden it's just like things are easy. And you become sort of this steward of your environment, whatever that means to you. It could literally be like your home and your yard, some property, or it could just be the kind of work you do, whatever environment is coming up to you. As I talk about this, like you're going to become like an amazing steward of that, and really know how to cultivate, to honor, to grow, to feel very connected to whatever this is that you are being or doing. And then Four of Wands, it's just full on celebration. And it feels like in this specific Four of Wands, it feels like different aspects of your own self just fully surrendering and feeling right and celebrating. And it's like you've come into the center of a labyrinth and found your still point, found your essence, found whatever it is, and you sprout these wings to take off. And it's just this deep inner celebration within of like, this is my life, this is who I am. Everything feels right and magical and just, yeah, wow, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. I love this. Okay, to end the reading, we're just going to do a couple of little simple oracle cards, messages that you need to have around this reading from Spirit. Okay, you've got the Finch. New opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. Exactly. That Seven of Cups. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of different opportunities and choices opening to you. And it's okay if some of those don't end up being right, because there's a lot of them and you'll find the right ones. And when you know they're right, you claim them, and you'll know they're right when you feel your mind, your soul kind of blown in a good way, you know. Okay, and then let's do one animal wisdom card. Penguin, diamond light activation. Light activations and new energies are coming your way. Be open to receive and welcome them in. Yeah, by taking action, placing your free will upon this dream, yeah, it really is like new things are coming to you, new openings, being in a receptive mode, being okay receiving. You really need to open to that, figuring out how to receive and welcome and feel gratitude and just allow yourself to receive. Yeah, because a lot is ready to come in. I think this seductive orchid energy, that is in your subconscious right now, there's a seductiveness in you that's really, it's like a gravitational force, really ready to attract a whole new kind of rhythm into your life, a new way of connecting to, kind of the day-to-day of your life that feels radical to you, that feels very different, very breaking of the norms you've grown into. So gorgeous reading, you guys. If this connected for you and you enjoyed it, definitely appreciate a thumbs up. It definitely helps my little algorithm. And if there was something specific that caught your attention, I love hearing that in the comments. And of course, if you are not subscribed yet, please do so if you want more of these readings. All right, see you guys. Hello, beautiful pile fours. If this is you guys, you picked the Citrine and the She-Wolf Tarot deck. So I'm going to put this aside. We're going to use it a little bit later, but when we do get to it, I want you to know that because this is the deck you chose, this is where kind of the cornerstone and the most important key information for you will probably lie in terms of what is revealed in this reading. Okay, to start, we are going to take a look at, try to kind of gather some information, give a little bit of definition to what dream might be trying to get your attention, and what, in order for your free will to be aware of it and to know what it can act upon if it wishes to, because this is a dream really, really deep within you, and that's been co-created by the universe, that's trying to get your attention, that wants to come through you and be anchored into your life. Because you picked the tarot deck as yours, my feeling before I flip these over is that most of you may have some clarity around what this dream is already, and you're more in this moment of, do I want to act on this, or maybe not, recognizing that your free will is something that needs to be put into motion in order to move this dream into your life. So let's look at the dream. I want to spend maybe a little less time on this for you guys, since I feel like you may already have some awareness here, but for some of you, maybe not. So let's take a look at what's going on. So in the Materia Prima deck, which kind of personifies the periodic table, the elements, we've got radium, which is very interesting. It makes me think that there's something in you that's really wanting to dive into some deep, dark secrets of life, kind of new frontier type stuff going where no one's gone before, or where there might be some dangerous secrets that are lying in wait. But because this is a dream for you and that's coming to you, that's also been co-created by the universe, there's some sort of trust in your abilities. You must have some real esoteric skill to be called into this type of dream, of some real knowing how to handle sensitive material, things that are a little bit undiscovered, and a natural cautiousness to know that not all is as it seems. And in the subconscious aspect of this dream, you have the coral snake, which I couldn't have picked a better subconscious match for this radium card, is that this is indicating there is a little bit of danger in this dream. But for whatever reason, that's something that's calling into you. But this is a gift, and it's something that needs to be made more conscious, and might be an element of why you've hesitated or not given enough importance to free will in terms of putting this into motion, this dream into motion. What your subconscious is wanting you to understand, and what's wanting to be made more conscious, is if you are very aware, you have at your disposal the knowledge you need to get clear warning signs of where the poison is, or where you should not tread, or where you should not experiment with something. The coral snake is indicating that, yes, if you read the signs correctly, you know the specific colors and order of colors and stripes on this coral snake, you know it's one to stay away from. And in interpreting that into this dream, you know something about this territory you're being called into, you're kind of dreaming about. You have within you the understanding, the knowledge, the maturity of recognizing the warning signs where you shouldn't tread, where something's too poisonous or too dangerous or too something, you know, where there's just, you know, there will be very clear and very understandable for you warning signs where you really shouldn't tread. So this is sort of your subconscious wanting you to understand that you have a certain wisdom within you to be able to go on this deep dive into discovering some sort of secret knowledge, new knowledge, because if you stay aware, you'll know the hazards, and you know where to either not tread or tread lightly when you hit the dangerous spots. So it's okay to go into some of these more intense places, whatever that is for each, you know, it's different for each of you. So I'm sure there's a degree of what's actually dangerous or perceived as dangerous, or if it's just like more diving into some sort of unknowns generally. Very interesting. Okay, I'm also going to use this book, The Art of the Occult. It's a collection of artwork by different artists where inspiration from the occult was used, and I'm just going to flip through and randomly pick a piece of art. And more so than, you know, reading about the artwork or the artist, I'm just going to look at the image and kind of channel what comes through there. And I may or may not read a little bit about it if, you know, depending on if I'm struggling to understand or channel something well here. Okay, so this is the one I picked. So it's called Second Degree Masonic Tracing Board by Josiah Bowring, 1819, oil on wood. Yeah, definitely immediately I'm drawn to this like eye coming through that's looking from a more higher perspective, higher place, different dimension down into the physical world. So probably seeing things about our world in a more illuminated, discerning, seeing, what's underneath the symbols, what's underneath certain posturing and structuring and organization. Seeing the truth, the patterns, sort of, I mean, I almost want to say like the power conspiracies behind, certain organizations and symbols that are being used, and ways of dress. And then we even see it down here. I feel like there's soldiers of a certain, it's hard to see if I can put this up a little closer. So like on one side of this river, it's like soldiers from a certain culture, and then more indigenous warriors on this side. And I feel like there's, it's like understanding, bridging some sort of dangerous divide that's holds a lot of differences. It's like bridging worlds here. That's what I'm feeling. It's like bridging worlds, understanding how different times, different cultures, different statuses, different native versus transplanted. I don't know, just like a lot of tension, and seeing between the gaps, seeing between the tensions, the divides between certain things, and the mechanics, the politics. You have an eye to be able to see between things, see bridge worlds, see between things, see the real histories, see the real meaning of the way certain organization has happened. Yeah, very interesting. That's kind of what's coming through here. So it feels a little bit political to me, but it may not be for everybody. But whatever you're looking into, I think you have a certain eye and a certain help from some higher guides to kind of tread into some darker, we could have some journalists in here, some activists in here. Doesn't have to be that, or just some like very occult, people exploring occult things. It could be a lot of different things, but yeah, an ability to see between the gaps, between how things were bridged, and why there's cracks in bridges, or bridges that aren't working, or and radium is an element that it's the most radioactive element, but it's also the element that helped us to understand the structure of the atom. So it's like you are understanding the structure of some very fundamental things, and how that's good and bad, how that's poisonous or healing, or whatever it is you end up finding. But there are, if you decide to step on this path, you need to be really aware of the warning signs. You'll know them but it's going to take you being like constantly aware and on the lookout, but if you are, you will see clearly the warning signs you need to see and where you shouldn't tread for your own good. Oh, okay, so this card that I pulled here has to do with to help each of you define for yourself what this dream is, become better acquainted with it, more conscious of it, and understanding of how your free will needs to interact with it. I wanted to pick a card from the Threads of Fate around in what way will synchronicity, what way can you bring some synchronous events into play to help you understand what this dream is to you, and yeah, exactly how your free will needs to interact with it, and if you actually want it to. And the card that came up is love. So there's something even though this feels very sort of deep and treading into some darker territory and a little bit treacherous in some capacity, the base of it, the motivation here is based in love. So there's something due to love that you want to understand some radioactive things or some toxic things or some darkness in order to bring love to a scenario. So anytime you're really kind of bumping into this dream and feeling some darkness, some overwhelm, some unsurety about how to even approach this, like really tap into your heart, because this is a heart calling. This is a heart dream, and it has messages for you that it is calling in this dream from a heart space. And so every time you connect to your heart in relation to this dream coming up, you're going to get synchronicities happening that will help bring contour and definition and understanding and knowing the right way to place your free will upon this, the accurate, because I feel like this is a little bit more of a delicate path where you do need to tread in a certain way, and it's through the heart, and the heart will tell you the right way to do this, and it will bring synchronicity to show you how to do that. So that's really, really beautiful to come up in connection with these cards connected to your dream. Okay, I'm just going to put these up here, and we are now going to jump into your tarot, which is, to me, I think maybe you already know a lot about what we've already said here, and this tarot wants to show you if you are to place your free will upon this and put this dream into motion, take action upon this dream, what lies ahead? What might be some outcomes, some things to know? What does Spirit want to tell you about placing your free will upon this dream? We're just going to pick 5 cards. So 3 of Pentacles. Oops. Hermit. 3 of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. And the Fool. Very interesting. Okay, let's break these down. Okay, so 3 of Pentacles. I mean, these are all really great cards. I just want to say that off the bat. I don't see any cards showing up here that are sort of like, you might want to think about your free will and if you actually want to put this dream into action. What I'm seeing here is you really being able to step in very immediately into some sort of collaboration. So there's going to be other people on this path with you, and there's going to be like a really structured, specific order, which is reassuring to know your place, to know what aspect you're responsible for versus others being responsible for, and this like well-oiled machine, that collaborative energy and that hierarchical energy, really being able to push things into motion in such a bold, powerful, colorful, exciting, vibrant, concrete way. So I think like the thing coming through to me immediately is you are not going to be alone on this path, and the people you're going to be with have your back. Like you have their back and they have your back, like solid. The other thing coming through here is whichever role you end up stepping into that you know your definition in, you know your place in, you really need to connect to your specific distinct instinct. I love that. There's something, you're in the role you are in because there's something hardwired into you that has an instinct around this role. that knows how to trust a certain gut feeling, trust a certain skill set, trust a certain purity of personal knowledge and understanding that you've developed over the course of your life that's very connected to your rhythm and your skill set. And so within your role, like there may be people either above or below you, maybe both, but within your role, you need to have full say-so of what you're doing. You need to have full control of that role and have the ability to make your own decisions within that role, or you will have that. And it's just so meant for you, especially with this 3 of Wands then coming through. This is sort of like creatively, passionately, there's something just incredibly aligned here that is just it's going to, it will really charge up some passion within you that's very aligned, that's very direct, that's very clear, very visionary. And the 7 of Pentacles is saying that whatever is done on this path, you are investing in a certain future that's going to set you off in your own direction. So I feel like whatever this is, it almost feels like a project to me. It's for a time. It's for a specific purpose and for a specific amount of time. And when it's done, it's done. And I think everyone will be in agreement and harmonious about it. And it will lay a lot of beautiful investment and material potential in everyone's life involved. And it will be a launching pad for each of you, but definitely especially for you, for a new path in your life that's your own, that you have your own freedom. Like this, whatever you go through with this dream, and by putting it into action and trusting yourself in it and trusting the people involved with you in it, is going to be ultimately a launching pad for your own thing, for something specific to you that feels exciting, that feels impulsive, that feels like you can see some sort of vision for your life, and a trust in taking a leap into something new and exciting, and that, the women who run with wolves, I'm seeing the wolf and the woman here of like trusting, like you're going to trust your instincts so much after going through what you go through here. If you put this into action, that you'll just have complete confidence to jump off into whatever you need to jump off into next. And it will feel so alive and so right and so exciting. This is a really gorgeous reading for you guys. I was sort of, I wouldn't say nervous, but sort of like a bit overwhelmed by the radium and coral coming out. I was like, wow, this is an intense one. I almost don't know if I should, I almost had this feeling, I hesitated saying this, but it's because this is the focal point of your reading, the tarot, and it's so amazing. I feel like I can go back and say things I didn't want to say before, of like, I had this thing and I held it back for a reason, and now I know why I held it back, of like, my mind was like, should I tell this pile that they should think about placing their free will and then acting, putting this dream into motion? Like, should they know to like really consider this and make a very considered decision, versus how I've talked about it with the other groups of like, this is a dream that's supposed to, that you need to put your free will into. And I was like, I don't know, I'm just feeling like this is a dream like the other piles that is wanting your free will to connect with it, that's wanting to be put into motion. So I really held back that like mental chatter in my head of like, should I tell them to do this? I don't know. It feels a little scary to me, but this being the anchor point of your reading, because you picked the tarot deck pile, completely confirms to me both the love card, that this is a heart journey, but also what, the tarot cards being what was the anchor point for your specific pile, and them being like so impressive and so great, and so like your back has had, you have backs, you're with others, and it's a launch pad into something beautiful. Like, yes, this is amazing. The only thing I will reiterate is like that awareness of, the warning signs with that coral snake subconscious, like bring that more conscious to bring more surety to your path of like, the warning signs that you need to know, and just be conscious of those and smart with those, and you're so good. Okay, last little thing, we're gonna do 2 little oracle cards, just any messages from spirit from our little feathered deck and our animal wisdom deck. Just anything spirit wants you to know. Hummingbird, which I have to say, I've had a little hummingbird in and out since I started this reading. I didn't see it at all as I was prepping, and then the minute I started, it showed up. Oh, and I see it again. And then it sort of popped in and out a little bit, but during your reading, it has been so present all over the place, just like pretty much here the whole time. So I'm so crazy that it showed up here. Okay, so it says, release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. So I love that message, because to me, this is saying like this path is not as heavy or as dark as you may be perceiving it to be. It's actually bringing in a lot of joy and lightness into your life. So that's something to be aware of. Like, it may feel a little like, I know it's a dream, but like, feels intense, but spirit wants to say it's actually bringing some joy and lightness, paradoxically, into your life. And I think because it's a heart journey. So yeah, connecting to your heart and hummingbird to me have like a strong connection. So connecting to your heart to get the messages you need, the knowledge to know how to put your free will into this and act on it. Such a key. Okay, animal wisdom. Snake again. Snake. Kundalini rising. Channel your creative passion and sensuality. Welcome the transformation. Yes, this dream and putting it into action with your free will is a fully awakening Kundalini experience. It's really going to transform your life, transform your energy. It's really going to awaken you to your potential, your instinct, your abilities, your, so much, your heart, everything. Gorgeous. Wow. This reading turned out so differently than I initially thought it might go to, and in such a beautiful, amazing way. So beautiful reading, pile 4. I would be really interested if any of you know what this is about, any little specific things that came up, to share a little, you don't have to write a whole story in the comments, but a little something is always fun to see. And generally, if it just resonated with you, a thumbs up always helps my, little new channel algorithm. And of course, if you are not subscribed yet, please do so if you want more readings from me. All right, see you guys.